Okay, welcome back to the channel. It's your host Marley Startled, and once again we're going to continue on with the Finnish campaign. As you can probably see, a few mistakes at the start, but now we're getting to a good spot where we can hopefully get that high trust up and start doing some hefty bit of damage. So we're already again up to 100 army XP. We're going to keep on pumping out the grand battle plan. And eventually I'm going to start building my units as well. So the next couple of PP will start building up my units so they're nice and ready to go. And once that's done, we should be in a solid spot to fight the Russians. At this stage, we're going to put down the Mannheim line and focus really straight onto our military now, because there's nothing else I really want at this stage. So that's going to keep going up on its own. I'm going to get my PP up by its own, and we should be in a good spot. So in terms of military, I like to go with the support artillery, and then we're going to go cavalry recon, and then once we get snow patrol, we'll get the snow patrols out as well, and then we have 2 artillery pieces per unit, and we should be able to meet that before 1939. Should be able to. I suppose we'll see. Okay. Done our research here. The only research we're doing that is for the radio. Once we have the radio, we'll start investing in infantry equipment, and then we should be ready to rumble. So next bit of equipment, we're going to add our cavalry recon because it's cheap, and then we're going to start adding our artillery pieces. Once we get to that 25 XP mark. Save up, going to go to partial mob, and then once we can, we'll save our PP for the next war. Mannheim line. Now I'm not going to use hospitals because I never really saw the point on need to do so. Simply put, hospitals, although quite good, are quite costly, and I don't really want to spend too much money on hospitals at this time. If you just are quite conservative over your troops, you should be okay. I can see in multiplayer you're going to have a risk here where you could get destroyed by encirclements, so it might be an idea to maybe invest in that sort of manpower. We're going to go with less reliability and easier production. And for our... Oh, and the reason why I picked a doctrine for ground battle plan is purely for the entrenchment. So as you can see here, this entrenchment goes up by +10. This doesn't increase. This doesn't increase entrenchment. This doesn't increase entrenchment, but it gives me more org, and it gives me the +10 there. Coupled with, let's go for basic infantry equipment. Coupled with the engineer company, if I can get this really high, I will have +10, plus an extra 50% entrenchment, and we're going to have a really disgusting unit. As you can see right now, our entrenchment is at 3.2, not very good at the moment, but I'm hoping we can build that up. So build our artillery piece. Give me just... Oh. Build some artillery. 2 artillery pieces should be fine. And then we'll build an infantry unit, and this will be our bog standard force for the foreseeable future. Start cracking out the artillery on this. We should have enough for guns. Done another hard research. Will I get this in time? 365, 700, 38, 39. I don't think we will. Not the end of the world. What we will do instead, I'm still going to hard research it anyway, because, you know, I can never beat engineer companies. We might not get it by war start, but still be good for the river crossings later on, especially through the rivers across the south. Next, we're going to go with this guy for the extra max entrenchment. What about our troops now? We have an entrenchment of 4.0. We have an entrenchment of 3.7 still. I think they've weakened this a bit. 3.9. Good enough, 3.9. Happy with that. With that done, we are now going to get all our troops and take about 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and move them to a separate unit. Get a defensive boy, get a commander, train this guy up, and put them on sea duty. I'll put them on port duty for naval invasions that will occur. But sadly, that's all we can afford, but hey ho, it is what it is. Next, put our troops over here and assign them to the border. Get me the adaptable expert, and then for our commander, the defensive expert for that extra defense. And why not winter expert as well? You see our manpower is now pretty much at its zenith, so we are going to be in a bad spot from now on, but it is what it is. Hopefully once we get to a high enough trust, we will be able to get that extra deployable manpower there. Anything I want to use for here? I don't really think so. Instead I'm going to go for entrenchment. I'm going to go for artillery specialist and support artillery. Good. I'm happy with that. And immediately go for the extra defense because we're going to go heavy into defense for our infantry equipment. Okay, defense and depth, that's fine. Let's go with, there we are. Do I want this now? Recruitable population plus 10, I'll take that. This should mean we're all in a pretty good spot now. I pretty much have everything I want equipment-wise, so what I'm going to do now is, because I need... reduce this down. I'm going to start basically buying all the stuff I need, so let's buy it from Germany, of course. Buy it from Germany. Buy it from Sweden. And buy it from Sweden, because I can't really afford convoy raids. From there, we're going to now go and invest in... I've always liked the idea of maintenance companies to capture enemy equipment, but I've never found it particularly useful. So instead, I'm going to go with more infantry equipment. And which is better? Logistics is always good. From there, I'm going to issue out motorized support. See, we just don't have enough troops at the moment, but we've still got a year, so that's fine. Get me some more. And then we'll get spare Buckshire units with Palmer's Devils. What I do like about the Expert AI is that they do try and simulate a sort of German grind for XP, which is very good in terms of just trying to reflect how much combat XP you're going to have at war start. Sometimes Spain ends too quickly and Japan ends too quickly, so I do like the fact that it does rather well in that regard. Where's my trap troops? I'm going to give my trap troops... Oh, they've already got spades. Yeah, we're going to stay the same. Keep equipping these. I'm going to go now with the hard attack and piercing, just in case any tanks were to come up. Albeit unlikely that I can do any significant damage to them, but it's just nice to have to back up. And then upgrade artillery next. Can't upgrade our conscription. Lack of resource penalty. Yeah, I'll take the lack of resource penalty then. Farmer's Devils gives us 1 free unit. Don't really want you yet. I don't really have an interest in you either. We'll do the extra refresher courses, because we're slowly starting to see the build up of our troops. So Sisu's going up, which is really quite potent. Our recovery rate, the attack on core territory, then we've got the fortification effort, extra pops, and getting that Finnish army very, very strong, and it's just going to get stronger. We could go for this. I'm tempted now to go with recon, because I already have recon, so I don't see why not. And our army's slowly getting in a good spot. So if we take a look at our equipment, it's going to take us 188 days, 268 days, 110 days. But the biggest one is this, so we can take... Oh, I've already taken one off. Okay. But we'll increase our artillery next. See here, we don't even have enough troops yet to sustain a coherent front line, but we should be okay given enough time. Enough time and enough manpower should be fine. Especially once we hit here, because we'll get that extra pop, extra recruitable population, which we're now at. And we're now at that Sisu level, so we're in a really good spot. So let's take a look. What can I get? What's most likely to be useful to me early on? Doesn't really matter. Yeah, put it bluntly, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go with any, really. If we take a look at our manpower tactics we can go for. Actually, what's that? No, I need 70% world tension. So once I get 70% world tension, we'll go for more manpower. How is that a manpower? Yes, it's just not a manpower, it's useless. We'll go for the lone wolf next. I believe the lone wolf gives us recruitable population as well. Now construction 4 for strength and military administration. But that's too far down the line. I don't think I can afford that. Go for defense. Always go for defense. Pump these out. Put them on the front line. I need 2 of these units on defense duty on this front. Otherwise they'd end up going back and forth, which is never good. I just don't think it's worth it. To rush down there, I should focus more on the piercing and hard attack, in case any tanks were to show up. I could do improved workers' conditions. I'll do that, why not? I don't think that's going to increase my manpower too much. Now, if I was to, I'm going to take a risk and see what happens here. I may have to take him off and put him back on every now and then. Cold front. Keep churning them out. Oh yeah, I need to turn all these troops as well into infantry. There we are. Just anything that really gives me manpower, that's the real plan. I don't really care for this that much, if I'm honest with you. I'd rather go with Deconstruction 4. As good as I say it is. Your manpower is always going to be crap. That's what makes it quite weak. I think this is what would overwhelm a Finnish player against in multiplayer. I suppose if you shorten the line enough, you could be okay. So if I shorten the line, say, to here, sort of historically shorten it like here, you'd be better off. There we are. Let's now go with that soft attack increase. Go for the Motti tactics. And just keep on grinding up the military tech tree. Almost when I get to the very top, I don't think anything happens, so there you go. Sort of increasing my manpower a little bit, but not enough to satisfy me too much. I may have to use Palmer's Devils next, because Palmer's Devils give me an extra unit to toss out. But now you can see just how disgustingly powerful Finland gets. The only thing that stops Finland is its manpower. But yeah, we're talking Breakthrough +5, Attacking Division Speed +10, Army Command Spirit, Entrenchment Speed, Winter Attrition, Org Loss, and you've got the Sisu as well. And then eventually you're going to also have the Motti tactics, which when used can just absolutely demolish troops as well. So you just dump the Motti down and it's going to cause things such as Division Speed +15, enemy division speed -15. It's going to damage the enemy's local supplies and it's going to give them extra attrition. So definitely very useful to have early on in the game. When I can, I'll try and dump out the next troops. Palmer's Devils, guess what? Palmer's Devils immediately joins the front line. And then we aim for... None of this gives manpower, does it? No, it doesn't. We could go for that, but it's just not worth it. I'd rather go for the extra bonus weapon abilities. 70 days. I need to do this anyway to get... No, I want CC. I don't really care about this. Do I actually need... Yeah, I don't really care about the salvage and retooled yet. So I'm going to go for Winter Warfare. Does this honestly give MAB? I don't think it does. No, I think it's useless. I think it's pretty useless. Winter Warfare. Let's go with the long-range patrols. And now if we take a look at our infantry now, we have an entrenchment of 3.9 still. That's a bit I'd hoped it would have been a bit better with all the bonuses attached, but hey ho. So now I want to think about perhaps my defensive weapons. So tactical movements minus 25%. Attack. I want to go for elastic defense. Yeah, I'll go for profit spot on that. Long range patrol, was happy with that. And then I'm going to go with this one. So I'm now starting to rush down the military tech tree, so I'm nice and well equipped. So for 31 combat XP, I can go with entrenchment speed. That has no real value to me. Logistical focus, no real value to me. But that increases my max entrenchment, so I might go for 45 there. And the rest has no real value to me. We've got plenty of points now, so I don't really see a point in this chap anymore. In fact, I could probably change these guys out. I'll take that. So bear in mind, I still got to deal with the potential fascist being a bit of a nuisance, so I've got to have at least one guy checking that. Next I want to do is conduct multi-tactics where I can. Research our next weapon. And finally do that finish radio. August 1939. I can maybe toss out just enough troops to hold that line. It's not going to be best, but it will be okay. So if I go with static warfare, that'll increase my entrenchment even more. Still trying to rush that heavy entrenchment. And then what I want to do is actually stop training up my boys, because we're going to be at war soon. Finally, I want to go to my equipment and select the winter logistics experts, because that gives me extra defense, HP, and quite a bit of damage. So I'll take one of these bad boys, and that should be good to go. And finally, what do I want? Soft attack. Don't really see a point in it. Let's go with production efficiency. Still not enough to deploy. Quite annoying that. I don't really need base war support to go up. And now we finally get to Sisu, which will give us a recon bonus when entrenched. Long-range patrol attacks go up, and long-range patrol defense goes up as well. Sisu is the best, so I'm going to go with Sisu. Manpower's not perfect, I understand that. Equipment-wise, we're doing okay. We're probably going to reduce this down by 1. But we've got enough PP for the mass sort of war economy once the war starts. Still can't deploy. Yeah, Poland's going at it. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Okay, let's build a couple more mills. And I don't know. Go here, I guess. Yeah, you can see that building mills the entire time is enough to get you through here. Okay, here we are. Let them come if they dare. So I'm going to end the video here, but if we take a look at our combat XP bonuses, soon we're going to reach the final one of our military tech, which will give us that extra long range bonuses. We have the Finnish army that is now basically got 25% heart attack, 100% extra piercing, lots of orc, extra population, orc loss when moving -15, entrenchment +15, reinforced state +5. It's just bonus after bonus after bonus. Yet with the Pathfinders, we've got even more bonuses, So Finland can be an absolutely disgusting army. The only thing that limits it is the population. But if you build up well and build up quick enough, you should be able to counter. And you should be in a position where you can at least hold most of the line. So we're going to end the video here and hopefully end up with the start of the Finnish-Soviet War. But as you can see, not a perfect build, but it's doing what it needs to do and we'll be ready to go fairly shortly. So I'll see you soon, boys, and let's begin.